Coming up.
What am I saying?
Alakazam!
I'm going up and then I'm going down.
There's no need for it.
How's it feel being married to a Viking?
To Valhalla!
That won't annoy his wife at all.
When I listen, I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like I need to put on a suit.
Yeah, what am I talking about?
Ask for the music so you can feel the tempo.
When am I ever going to learn?
There's a certain rhythm to it.
I felt like I was riding in a convertible car.
Do you know what? I've never been so turned on as I am now.
Well, you get one shot.
Send us your money now.
And I find it really difficult to listen to newsreaders.
That makes my head swell.
How far is he going to go with this?
Semi-educational in that sense.
And now, enjoy the podcast.
How do you say that?
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 Hello and welcome to today's episode of How Do You Say That, sponsored by Voxbox. Let me introduce you to Mark Rice.
Well, hello. Over there is Sam Boffin.
Yes, hello. Every week, Mark and I and a very special guest get together and chat about the world of voiceover.
We do indeed. So if you're a voiceover, a podcaster, or even a voice director, this podcast is especially for you.
It is. Now, this week's fun fact about Mark is that he has been inside a sweet shop store.
I have.
But it was nothing like Willy Wonka,
No.
and it just smelt, sickly sweet? How did it smell?
The person who showed me around said there are no Oompa Loompas, and at that point I kind of lost interest anyway.
Yeah, but what's the point?
It just smelt sickly sweet, and I thought, it's going to be a lot more exciting than this, and it basically wasn't. Well, Sam's fun fact is that when she created the TV promo for the Sarah Jane Adventures, the Doctor Who spin-off, the production loved it so much that it became the intro to every episode, and I know that so well, Sam. It's a brilliant piece of television.
Yeah, well, that was made, but in fact, it was created and devised by a guy I met last night, Richard Senior. He was our director, and he was amazing, and he came up with this brilliant concept. And the obviously, anybody, if you haven't watched Sarah Jane Adventures, obviously you won't know what I'm talking about. But and in fact, the only reason I remembered it as a fun fact is just before we came here, I said to my son, "What's my fun fact this week?" And he went, "Sarah Jane Adventures, Mum." And I went, "Oh yeah, I'm proud of that one." They took it and they used it. They put it on every single opener to every single episode.
I remember it.
We were very proud.
Indeed.
And of course, we also have a very special guest who this week is voice actor Curt Hilton. Hello, Curt.
Hi, Curt.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, it's all happening here.
It was interesting. Before we came on air, Curt said to us that we sound exotic, but you're exotic to us, Curt.
That makes my head swell so big. See, I'm exotic. I don't think that way at all, but that made me feel really good. When she said that, I'm like, oh, okay.
Which bit of the States are you in?
I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Excellent stuff. And you're 5 hours behind the UK at the moment. So we're in the evening, you're in the afternoon. It's all good. Let's find out a bit about Curt, shall we, Sam?
Yes. So Curt has been in the voiceover industry for over 20 years. He started in radio voicing commercials for local businesses. And since then, he has voiced and produced commercials for companies all over the world. And in fact, most of his work is commercial or video game and animation. That's quite different, actually, commercial video game animation. Yeah, anyway.
It really is. Yeah, well, he also runs Hilton Productions, helping clients with pre- and post-production, voiceovers, content creation, social media marketing, and more. He hosts another essential VO podcast. Yes, there is another one. It's called Behind the Audition with Curt Hilton, which features voice actors, directors, musicians, animators, and more, with some really in-depth interviews. So welcome to the podcast, Curt. Do you have a fun fact for us?
Well, I just found out that I'm 11% Viking.
Wow.
Woo!
With the horned helmet and everything.
I guess, but I woke up the next day and I was all pumped up, and I'm probably going to annoy my wife with that every day. I'm like, hey, how's it feel being married to a Viking?
I'm really hoping that you get out of bed or get out of the shower and go, to Valhalla! Or maybe not.
Because that won't annoy his wife at all.
No, yeah. She'll be like, I got to get out of here.
Okay, so let's have a look at our first script of the show and ask, how do you say that?
How do you say that?
This is something that I thought I'd bring along. It's very unusual for me.
It does seem that. It looks like a news report.
It is a news report for a Christian channel.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
So we're harking back 2,000 or 3,000 years and to biblical times as if the news existed then.
Yes.
I'm already excited that we have an American voiceover guest and we're going to hear how he does it in a minute. I'm already excited about that.
Exactly why I thought this would be such a cool one for Curt.
Now, trying to remember my Bible, I think it's King Nebuchadnezzar.
That is right. Nebuchadnezzar.
Yes.
Or Nebuchadnezzar.
Nebuchadnezzar.
Okay.
Well, actually, that's not... We're all going to say it differently.
We're all going to say it differently, I know.
Nebuchadnezzar. Yeah, that's how I said.
So I do a fair bit of this kind of newsy stuff, both on camera and in voice. So let's see where I go with this. You're listening to Breaking News. I'm Alex Baker. It's 6 p.m. Babylonian forces led by King Nebuchadnezzar attacked the kingdom's capital earlier today. Judah's world-renowned temple, once known as an architectural marvel, has been reduced to rubble. Many of the temple's expensive furnishings were seized by King Nebuchadnezzar. We're joined by political analyst Glen Stone to discuss the regional significance of today's dramatic events.
Wow, that was newsy. That was
nice.
Radio News, actually.
Yes, specifically, I think Radio News. I mean, and as you know, I was a Radio News reader for a long, long time.
There's a certain rhythm to it.
There really is. Yes, certainly in Britain there's a certain rhythm to it, absolutely. And that was probably quite fun. That was almost a headline sequence as opposed to going in depth into the story.
I totally thought I was listening to like BBC News. That's the first thing that came to my head. I thought it was very cool. Fun fact, my wife used to be in the TV industry as a main anchor. And
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and I was turned into news director, and I was like, wow, this guy's good.
So I've done a reasonable amount of this, a little bit as voice actor, but it's interesting because I get booked as newsreader, but I also get booked as sports commentator a lot, and I'm not really into sport, but I can do the various different sports commentator bits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like it.
You've done them on here, haven't you?
I just did a swim meet one last week, which was an interesting one because I'd never done a swimming one before.
Yeah,
cool.
So, Curt, I want to hear the transatlantic version of this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, here we go. You're listening to Breaking News. I am Alex Baker. It is 6 p.m. Babylonian forces led by King Nebuchadnezzar attacked the kingdom's capital earlier today. Judah's world-renowned temple, once known as an architectural marvel, has been reduced to rubble. Many of temple's expensive furnishings were seized by King Nebuchadnezzar. We are joined by political analyst Glen Stone to discuss the regional significance of today's dramatic events.
Wow.
You put quite a twist on that. Yeah.
Yeah, that felt like a real character read, that.
Yeah, almost an animation newsreader I got. Is that what you were aiming for there?
So I was thinking back in the day, remember those radio announcers, you know? We're turning into the news, and here's your anchor. You know, that kind of guy. And I used to love those, growing up and hearing those, even watching like... those, oh my gosh, those
Pathé
movies,
stuff,
like,
or the movie tone stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, like the black and white warnings. Don't smoke cigarettes, stuff like that.
And of course, Curt, the American side of that and the British side of that very different because I do a lot of vintage news as well. So you're listening to Breaking News. I'm Alex Baker. It's 6 p.m.
Yes.
So very different from across the Atlantic. The style that your 1950s newsreaders had.
Yeah. I took it back. Now, maybe if I'd have been a little bit newer, I'd be like, "You're listening to Breaking News. I'm Alex Baker. It is 6 p.m.
The sensual newsreader, I like it.
Yeah. Or it could be like, Babylonian forces, like all scared out, she said,
all
stuff
scary.
like that.
Yeah.
There are a lot of different ways you can do this. Yeah.
Yes,
it's true.
and you could make this scary, gloom and doom on the news every day nowadays.
Was this a video piece, Sam, in the end?
No, it's for a kids' channel.
Ah, okay.
It's learning about the history of religion.
Yeah.
And it's a put to animation. It's just a little anime. I imagine they reuse a similar piece of animation each time, to be totally honest, with just little tweaks.
I'm wondering if you're going to bring out your inner Jan Leeming or Angela Rippon for me.
Well,
two very famous female newsreaders in Britain, Curt, by the way.
No, I'm not put off. You guys are so, like, your voice is like, I'm like in awe. I'm like, I could listen to you guys talk all day. I'm back here like, oh yeah, I remember you're on this show because I'm totally zoned out by your guys' voices.
We have the same. I have absolutely the same approach to, American voices. I just think are so exciting and fun and upbeat, and they're just like they just bring a different dynamic entirely, which is just so exciting.
Anyway, Sam, you don't get away with it for much longer. You've got to show us what you did with this.
No, but I did it differently to both of you.
Okay.
So I definitely wasn't as fast because they definitely made the decision for it not to be fast, because people had to take in the information, and this was kids.
Yep.
So, and it was...
And kids are so slow, right?
Well, so slow. No, but these are younger kids. So
okay, fair.
they're, so, and they want them to learn. It's not just a puff piece. They actually want them to learn stuff. So, so it's a sort of semi-educational in that sense. But, but it was, I suppose I'll do it. You'll see.
Yeah, let's have a look.
Okay. You're listening to Breaking News. I'm Alex Baker. It's 6 p.m. Babylonian forces led by King Nebuchadnezzar attacked the kingdom's capital earlier today. Judah's world-renowned temple, once known as an architectural marvel, has been reduced to rubble. Many of the temple's expensive furnishings were seized by King Nebuchadnezzar. We're joined by political analyst Glen Stone to discuss the regional significance of today's dramatic events.
Yeah, taking it slower brought it to a different dimension, actually.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Sounded really good.
I see what you mean about the information flowing better.
Yeah, I think it's just that otherwise it becomes a wall. And I have to say, to you newsreader guys out there, guys and gals, it is a bit of a wall. And I find it really difficult to listen to newsreaders. I think to myself, why are you speaking like that?
Yeah.
Why? Why is there this weird speech which bears no resemblance to any speech anywhere else in the world?
Well, you're absolutely right. But it's the same in America, Curt, isn't it? There is a very definite rhythm and pace to news.
Why?
Right. So that's the announcery part of the news. So over here, the casting directors are like, every time I'll see it, no announcery, no over the top, because
you have the same auditions that I do. I get that written all the time.
And you get to conversational, and it was very conversational. I thought it was fantastic. I felt like I was watching the news.
The interesting thing about that, though, Curt, is for those kind of scripts where they say no announcery kind of thing, they're looking for a conversational read. With this, it's actually a newsreader.
Mm-hmm.
But it is a newsreader with a job to do.
Yep.
All newsreaders have a job to do.
That's
newsreaders, anyway, I'll get off my horse about this one. But
I agree.
It had a job to do, so it's meant to be. So it's faux newsreader, really, in that sense.
Yes.
You get an element of it.
And for an animation, definitely faux newsreader,
Yeah. And I guess I could be much more of a character. You could be much more of, that was a really straight read that I gave. But you could, if they asked me too, you could, and certainly for the journos in the field, I've done a few of the journalists as well over the time, and they are definitely different characters.
I do a cybersecurity thing for a client each month, on video in fact, but as a newsreader, and we've done it in studio, kind of green screen in studio for many months now, but we're just exploring the kind of flak jacket and instead the kind of riot going on behind you, and a very different type of delivery from you're listening to Breaking News, I'm Alex Baker, to you're listening to Breaking News, I'm Alex Baker out here in the field. So it's a very different kind of play on it.
Yeah, it still baffles me why they have this weird rhythm. There's no need for it.
Well, I think they do that too with the news when you hear them talking, tonight on Breaking News, this person here, that kind of feel,
I'm going up and then I'm going down. The rhythm is up and then it's true. Yeah,
it's just
quite
strange.
Yeah, that's that way in radio too. When you get on the radio station, 99.5, it's the blah blah blah. That's the kind of stuff. Just talk normal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We had Scott Chambers on the podcast and he made us do some of that.
No, but
when he was on.
He was really interesting because he said it was more. He's been asked to do stuff.
He's been breaking away.
Yeah. He was doing kind of this. Yeah. What am I talking about? No, you know what I mean. What am I saying? But you know what I mean. He said it was much more conversation. And he demoed it, and it was. It just felt really. It felt as though it was moving on a little bit. So hopefully these things will move on.
Well, just a reminder that these are real scripts that we've been working on, but we have changed some names and some details to avoid copyright issues.
We have. So, Curt, I love your script. I love the script you bought. So tell us a bit about it.
Yeah, so I had a production house reach out to me about a local, I guess you'd say like a water park, but it's kind of like a natural water park. And they're looking for, I guess I can't tell you what they're looking for, But yeah, it's a really cool place, and I was so excited to be part of it because it's brand new, and to be a voice of a new brand is exciting
too right.
because that could be like extra work because if you do something like T-Mobile or something, they can get everybody from around the world do that. But something new and something big, they like your voice, they like your flow, then they're probably gonna reach back out to you because you're the voice of that brand. So that's what I'm hoping.
So with this one, is it? I'm guessing that it hasn't got sort of like any time constraints on it particularly, or has it?
No,
Cool.
not in this one. No.
Yeah. Okay.
Is it full of pictures of the glorious thing that they are creating?
Yes, it is.
Got you. And did you see pictures when you did it, or did you do the voice first?
I did the voice first, which I guess how we're all taught. Sometimes you want to see the character of a video game to kind of give you that feel, or a commercial. You want to see what you're being a voice of. I've heard people say, ask for the music so you can feel the tempo.
Very much so. I mean?
Yeah. This one was no music, no pictures,
nothing to
and
go
no
on.
video,
Okay.
and it was just basically what they say.
Yeah.
Be inspiring and blah blah blah. I won't tell you so you guys can have fun with it. But
Okay.
it was very cool.
Inspiring is a great starting point, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It is.
Because it's interesting. I'm looking at the language that they're using in this, and some of the language feels exciting and upbeat and thrilling, and some of it feels like laid back. It's a haven. It's glorious. It's gorgeous. So there's a kind of, I'm thinking, where do we pitch this? So it'll be really interesting when something comes out of my mouth. It'll be interesting to discover what I think I'm going to do.
Are you going to go first, Sam?
I guess it is me, isn't it? Because was it me?
It's entirely up to you. I don't mind going first.
Go on then, you go first.
Oh,
you go first.
Shouldn't have offered, should I?
No, you shouldn't.
When am I ever going to learn?
You
Dear,
fool,
dear.
Mark.
Foolish boy. I see what you mean about that dichotomy of some of it is relaxed and some of okay. Let's see. Is it Carolina?
Carolina.
Good. Okay. Imagine a haven right in your backyard where nature and recreation unite, offering a space for everyone. Picture a riverfront transformed with innovative design to be enjoyed for generations. Welcome to Carolina Rapids. Expertly positioned rocks downstream from the dam create safe tubing channels, plentiful fishing spots, swimming pools, natural riverbank seating, and thrilling rapids for paddling. Carolina Rapids is more than just a park. To bring this vision to life, we need your support. Make Carolina Rapids a reality. Advocate for Carolina Rapids.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well done.
3 very different sections.
3 really different sections. You could literally feel you moving. So that was a very definite choice that you made there.
Absolutely, very much. And I figured that if the pictures match what was being said, it felt to me like first was floaty, second was exciting, third was factual.
Right.
Is kind of how it felt to me.
He's being very non-committal.
He is playing his cards close to his
I'm
chest.
thinking about how I'm going to respond because I would have thought the same thing if you wouldn't have gotten video, wouldn't have got a picture, wouldn't have had music. So you took it the way I took it, but I delivered differently.
I'm interested to find out what that's going to be. I guess it's quite well written actually as well, which is nice.
Yeah, nicely written. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's interesting as well is to make that choice as to whether because you made the choice to be promo-y.
Yes. Yep.
And it doesn't have to be.
No, I guess not. No.
It could be, it could come down from there, if you know what I mean, without being sort of, it doesn't necessarily need to be promo-y, if you know what I mean. I'm going to be super interested to hear Curt's version of this because I don't know where we're going. He's being so non-committal with this.
No, I love it. I'm so excited.
I'm not going to give anything away.
So, like I said, you had the same. I mean, because you had no video, no pictures, and no. It was inspiring with another word I can't say because then that'll give it away.
Oh.
So, but after I would say that one word, you would be like, oh, okay, you would have done something differently because you delivered it like I would have if I wouldn't have got that one word. That's why I'm not saying anything.
Okay.
I'm hoping that word isn't like Yoda. Or E.T.
Imagine, no?
Yes, quite. Haven in your backyard right there.
As a wizard, yes. Okay.
All right, Sam, why don't you have a crack at this?
Okay, I don't really know what I'm going to do with it, but I'll have I'll do it. Okay. Imagine a haven right in your backyard where nature and recreation unite, offering a space for everyone. Picture a riverfront, transformed with innovative design to be enjoyed for generations. Welcome to Carolina Rapids. Expertly positioned rocks downstream from the dam create safe tubing channels, plentiful fishing spots, swimming pools, natural riverbank seating, and thrilling rapids for paddling. Carolina Rapids is more than just a park. To bring this vision to life, we need your support. Make Carolina Rapids a reality. Advocate for Carolina Rapids.
That was quite factual, Sam. You went quite down a factual route there, didn't you?
Well, I went down something different from what you did.
Yeah,
because
very
I'm
much so.
thinking, okay, so if you went down a different... so I was seeing it more as a sort of video rather than a promo, if you see what I mean.
Yep.
Yeah.
But again, it could be completely wrong.
It was a very inspiring, motivational feel.
It was. Absolutely it was. Yeah, very much so.
But...
But...
No, again, so I'm going to tell you the words now. Before I do.
Go on then.
Okay, so it's elevating excitement.
As
okay.
across 3 paragraphs, elevating excitement. Well, in which case I think I got there a bit.
Yeah, you certainly
Certainly
got them
in
more than
paragraph
2. I took mine right
You
down.
took yours down, didn't you, Sam?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, so fantastic. So let's hear how it went.
All right, here we go. Imagine a haven right in your backyard where nature and recreation unite, offering a space for everyone. Picture a riverfront transformed with innovative design to be enjoyed by generations. Welcome to Carolina Rapids. Expertly positioned rocks downstream from the dam create safe tubing channels, plentiful fishing spots, swimming pools, natural riverbank seatings, and thrilling rapids for paddling. Carolina Rapids is more than just a park. To bring this vision to life, we need your support. Make Carolina Rapids a reality. Advocate for Carolina Rapids.
Send us your money now.
Wow. So that had real energy in it, didn't it? It had an oomph that certainly I didn't put in, but it had a real kind of, it was quite exciting.
What surprised me
go-getting.
Was you began at quite a high level. That first sentence was quite a high level, and I thought, as you got to where nature and recreation unite, I wondered, wow, how far is he going to go with this? How far up that mountain is it going to go?
I'm coming for your wallet.
Literally, absolutely. I love that. But it worked because actually you weren't on a steep incline from that point. You were on a measured incline from that point. But it did. I see the building excitement that you were talking about. Absolutely, I could see that.
You see, it's so interesting that on the face of it, that is, if you like, a straightforward piece of copy.
Yep.
It's nicely written, but it's straightforward. It's asking people to make Carolina Rapids a reality and to kind of, and yet you can come at it from so many different angles. And I do find that fascinating, that you can come at it with all that energy that you brought to it, Curt, which wouldn't have dawned on me, and you can equally come at it in a different way, the wrong way for the client. But the point is that if you were auditioning for this, you wouldn't know, which is why it's so important to punt in 2 or 3 auditions, because
True. Yeah.
You can do it in so many different ways, but if you make a choice and only go, oh, I can see it's just like that, it has to be like that, therefore I'm only going to give one.
And you might completely miss the mark.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which, absolutely.
I felt like I was riding in a convertible car, looking up at a tree. The sunlight's going through the trees, and I'm driving this back road to this location
where the crawdads sing. There we were.
It was great, but it was like I was lost, and that's why I was saying your guy's voice just totally like it grabs me, and
do you know what? I've never been so turned on as I am now.
But actually, though, that's so interesting, though, because in fact, if the way that we're doing it is more like lulling, if you see what I mean,
Right.
is more, then it doesn't work.
No, you're right. It doesn't work if you're doing that. Yeah.
So
Right.
it might well be cute, or not cute, that's the wrong word. It might well be, interesting or even vaguely inspiring or rather gorgeous, but it doesn't do the job
No, you're
that
right.
it's meant to be doing.
Yeah.
So that's so interesting.
Yes, and that would make me, on a second take, do it completely over again. But we can't do that because that is not what, how do you say that is all about? It's all about the first take. That's the thing.
Well, you get one
Hey,
shot.
we got one shot at it. But nice. Play, how do you say that?
Dun, 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 dun.
Ta-da!
It's time for the wild card.
Yes.
Whoop. So, Curt,
Yes.
could you pick one of the scripts for Mark or me and give us a new direction with it?
All right, so let's go with script 2 again, and let's go with a haunted house narration.
Oh, and which one of us would you like to do it?
Let's go with Sam. I want to hear the haunted house.
So, a haunted house in that, like a ghost story, like really spooky. Is that what you're?
Yeah, so we're going to a haunted house. You know,
So this is Carolina Rapids is now a haunted, crazy.
Have you ever
place.
done one of these
Okay.
before? They're really fun. You know, kind of like welcome. Yeah.
Imagine a haven right in your backyard, where nature and recreation unite, offering a space for everyone. Picture a riverfront transformed with innovative design to be enjoyed for generations. Welcome to Carolina Rapids. Expertly positioned rocks downstream from the dam create safe tubing channels, plentiful fishing spots, swimming pools, natural riverbank seating, and thrilling rapids for paddling. Carolina Rapids is more than just a park. To bring this vision to life, we need your support. Make Carolina Rapids a reality. Advocate for Carolina Rapids.
I'm
Give
scared.
me your money.
I'm scared.
There you go.
That was fantastic.
Wow, wasn't
you
it?
were gonna get if you were to put that in a demo and sent that to like up in like Salem area up here in the States, you would get hired by so many people for narration. That was so phenomenal.
The thing is, I was picturing a kind of wizened, gnarled, I mean the opposite of you, Sam, to be fair, wizened, gnarled character. Perhaps you know how you imagine the three witches at the start of Shakespeare's Scottish play? I don't think I ought to say that out loud. One of them, one of those old crones.
It was fantastic.
Slightly underplayed old crone, but
Yeah,
I was
maybe.
yes.
But no, I liked that. I think the underplaying it made it creepier.
Okay, yeah. Well, I was going for creepy. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, you succeeded. Absolutely. All right, Curt, one for you now, if you're ready. I would like you to picture a lecture hall, like in a university, with the professor at the front, and the professor is delivering the Carolina Rapids speech to people.
Oh.
And I would like him to be not your average professor, but a really mad professor.
A mad one? Okay, maybe I have something in mind. We'll see if that works.
Okay.
Imagine a haven right in your backyard where nature and recreation unite, offering a space for everyone. Picture a riverfront transformed with innovative design to innovate for generations. Welcome to Carolina Rapids. Expertly positioned rocks downstream from the dam create safe tubing channels, plentiful fishing spots, swimming pools, natural riverbank seating, and thrilling rapids for paddling. Carolina Rapids is more than just a park. To bring this vision to life, we need your support. Make Carolina Rapids a reality. Advocate for Carolina Rapids.
Nice. What were you seeing? What were you seeing
know
out of
what I
your
was
eyes,
seeing.
Kurt? Because I
was just like a mad scientist / professor that just had too much coffee and was just like had it with his students and his paycheck, and he was just like, you know what? I'm just going to lose my mind today in class.
I really picked up on that, but I also got like you pointing at a blackboard with the different things. So like fishing spots, swimming pools.
I was pointing.
Yeah, there we go.
Pointing.
I absolutely came across. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Right. Okay. Mark, you are going to be a pro golfer playing a round. I want you to play the entire round. With only one hole.
We'll be here a while.
One hole. One hole. And I'll give you script one because that's what we got left.
Well, yeah.
So you can have a caddy or not, as you like. But you are talking us through your incredible golfing prowess. Yeah.
That's a character that does not fit this script in any way.
That's the beauty of the wild card, honey.
Thanks for that. Thanks for
Okay.
that. Okay. Concentrating on my swing.
And your swing, exactly.
Okay. You're listening to Breaking News. I'm Alex Baker. It's 6 p.m. Babylonian forces, oh, come on, led by King Thingy, attacked the kingdom's capital earlier today. Ooh, where'd it go? Judah's world-renowned once known as architectural marvel has been reduced to rubble. Many of the temple's expensive furnishings were seized by the king. Okay, putting green. Joined by political analyst Glen Stone. Glen, putter, please. Thank you. To discuss the regional significance of today's dramatic events.
Oh, that was fantastic. That was awesome. That was so funny.
I'm so pleased that you could do at the end.
Yeah.
I was wanting
It's
that.
kind of like the
Nice. Doing the actions really helped.
Yeah, you did
Really
not
helped.
disappoint.
I felt like I was watching like the press conference, and then you're back on the green, like, let's go back to the scenes of today's thing, and then you talking. It was good. It was good.
I avoided Nebuchadnezzar that time.
I hardly noticed that you skimmed over. But,
That's all right.
yeah.
You're upset about your shot, so you skipped over it.
Indeed,
Exactly.
yes,
It was
that's
good.
exactly right. Well, as always, we've put the scripts in the show notes so you can have a try yourself at home.
So our question for you this week, Curt, is, now you have a podcast called Behind the Audition.
Yep, both of you got to be on the show too.
Oh, I'd love to. That would be lovely.
Together or separately? That would be
cool.
I think both you guys be.
Have you
excited.
done a dual one before?
No, I have not. So
you
guys will be the first.
Let me warn you, we've done a dual one. It is chaos.
Chaos
It is.
I'm reining you back in. I'm reining you back in. So
Yeah.
what is the best thing that you've learned from your guests?
Oh, good question.
I would say just staying humble, staying focused, and this industry is definitely a marathon, not a sprint. I know it's totally cliche to say, but also know that you're not the same level as everybody, and keep the whole, the imposter syndrome out of your head, because once you go down the rabbit hole of negativity or lose the track that you're running on, you'll lose course, and then that's when you start thinking about, am I good enough for this? Am I in the right kind of industry? So just staying humble and focused, and understand this is not an overnight success.
Yeah,
That's a cracking piece of advice.
absolutely.
It really is, absolutely. Sam, do you have a thought about what the best piece of advice you've picked up on? How do you say that is?
Well, it's not so much the best piece of advice that I put, but overall, what I pick up on, and of course, it's the ethos, I guess, behind the whole podcast, is that we all bring something different. We all bring something that's unique to every single script, and it's sort of similar to what you were saying, actually, Curt. It's trying to remember that it's not about comparing ourselves to other people. It's about trying to hang on to the confidence that we have got our own unique style. And that's not to say that's an immovable style by any stretch of the imagination, but we will bring something different to every script. And yes, it may not be the same as what somebody else is bringing, and that guy over there and that woman over there, and it won't be the same. But that's the beauty of it. The beauty is that, we all bring something Yeah.
Yeah.
You all bring something
Absolutely.
that's entirely different.
I think for me, the thing that I've learned, and it's been a really lovely learning process, is slow down, but also visualize. Because even if you're doing a very straight, dry piece of narration,
Yeah.
if you're visualizing who you're talking to and you can see them and the character that you are and you can put yourself in that place, it becomes much more real immediately.
Yeah.
Love that.
So I think that's what I've learned.
Well, thank you so much, Curt, for coming on. It's been so
Absolutely.
lovely to meet you. It was a
Oh my
really
gosh,
fun-
like I said, your guys' voices mesmerize me, and I cannot wait to have you guys on my show. I do 6 to 10 episodes a year. I
Yeah.
take the summers off. I call it R&R, relax and reflect.
Yeah,
Reflection
absolutely.
is something important. Everybody needs to relax and reflect on things they can do better and ways they can improve their craft. So I'm
Yeah.
so excited you guys asked me, and I appreciate it, and I want to keep in touch. You guys are great.
I'm glad you
Oh,
enjoyed
brilliant.
it.
Thank
so
you, Curt.
all of Curt's details are in the show notes and the scripts are there too. And please do like and subscribe and leave a review on Apple Podcasts for us.
Yes, absolutely. So that is it for this week. Thanks again to the lovely Curt Hilton, and we will be back next week with more scripts and another voiceover guest when we'll be asking, how do you say that?
How do you say that?